it.
For the Silver Crown cars, they're up next. Ralph Shaheen is with the pole sitter, Kenny Irwin Jr.
Kenny Irwin came just this close to winning the 1996 Silver Crown Championship, and he's going to kick off the 97 season right here at Phoenix. Kenny got so close to winning the title last year. What do you got to do today to win this race and get a good jump on the points?
You know, we just got to stay up front, and this beast chassis, it can do it. So save the tires the whole day.
Saving the tires will be a key for everybody here today in Phoenix. There's the 81 and Tony Stewart, who will start 11th here today. Bob Gerald.
Ralph, as the Silver Crown field gets set to go, here's the deal. Only 0.7 of a second separate the front of the field from the rear of the field. It's loaded with players. 1992 champion Jim Keeger is in the middle of the pack. Tony Stewart is in there. Davey Hamilton is in there. Lots of good drivers anywhere you look. Dave Reef will give us more of the Silver Crown story.
Well, Bobby, there is something missing out of today's field. It's the defending and three-time champion Mike Bliss. He's not in the pits today because he's on the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. But that doesn't mean he's not here in spirit. The same 69 car that won here a year ago is in the pits under the name of Casey Deemer. Now it's a 173, and today it will start on run number 12. The cars are on the grid. It's time to go racing. Let's go back upstairs.
30 cars for 50 miles. There were so many Silver Crown cars, almost 60, they had to run 2 consolations. Kenny Irwin Jr. on the pole with that Chevy pink car. Most of these are small block Chevrolets. There's a Ford on the pole, however, and there's a Mopar back there in the field that's pretty stout, too.
You know, I was looking forward to watching the Supers run and get through with that. Now look at this field for the Silver Crown cars. What an absolutely awesome group of drivers set to go battling here for 25 laps in this Silver Crown race. This is going to be awesome. Jim Keeger, Bentley Warren, one of the best names here again is Davey Hamilton. How about Jack Hewitt? Do it, Hewitt. That ought to be killer. One of the best from the West Coast. Brent Kading, old BK's out here with the Consandi car. Rocky Hodges and Robbie Flock, Eric Gordon. I mean, this is one stellar field of drivers.
And it is so compact, as our guys pointed out, that you got some real hitters. In fact, this kid, Jimmy Kite, he was second in one of the consies and showed a little strength.
Yep, first time ever on a big track for him. Russ Gamester, you've heard that name before as they get set to go green.
A little bit old, a little bit new, totally exciting. The USAC Silver Crown cars.
Steve, there's a problem for Tony Stewart's car, too. We'll have to keep our eyes on that. He's struggling. We certainly expected a lot out of the Triple Crown winner from 95.
Well, he didn't even make the start, Ralph. Chuck Kearney up front, followed by Kenny Irwin, Dave Glennie, Donnie Beechler, and Jimmy Sills. That's that Mopar powered machine, the 1996 Silver Crown champ.
The only driver to win the Silver Crown title 3 times is Jimmy Sills, and we certainly expect to see the Placerville, California native up front.
And Chuck Kearney said before the race he didn't know how much longer he was going to actively compete, and he just wanted one more Copper World on his resume.
Well, we said that there were problems with Tony Stewart's car, and he has pulled it down pit road, and Bobby Gerald has caught up with Tony.
Well, Tony Stewart out of the race before it even started. What happened? We broke an axle in half. I don't know why it broke, but we were just getting lined up and catching up with the pack and just started slowing down, and all of a sudden the back of the car dropped down and was sliding on the ground and the axle broke in 2. Big shame for Tony Stewart.
He's having the same kind of luck in the Silver Crown Series that he's been having in the Indy Racing League. He leads, and he can't finish.
One of the most talented drivers on the planet who just can't buy enough luck. Any luck, for that matter. Boy, Kearney's looking strong right now, but Kenny Irwin is not letting him get away. He's going to go after him.
Chuck Kearney from Northern California. He is a war horse. He has raced the wing sprinters, the Silver Crown cars, midgets, anything, really.
This new car that is running in third with Buckeye Bullet, Dave Blaney driving, is the white car, the 112. Ron Todd, whose son Joe Knott competes in the ASA Tour, bought this car for fun, Steve. They're running the Silver Crown car as a hobby, and they got a heck of a good driver behind the wheel, and they're looking pretty good right now, running in third.
90%, if not 100% of these car owners do this strictly because they love it. They love the nostalgia of the cars. They love, however, the contemporary technology you can use. There's a lot of tradition to them. It's just a great place to be.
Donnie Beechler, the winner at Cal Expo near the end of the 96 season, runs right behind Dave Blaney. That's the 67 car back and forth. And look at Irwin. He is closed up on Chuck Gurney.
And I think we echo the words of our pole sitter about saving those tires. So you really don't know what the game plan here is. A lot of these drivers, they may be hanging back.
Don't forget, Kenny Irwin lost the Silver Crown title to Jimmy Sills just as he came off of turn 4 at Del Mar. Kenny would like to start the 97 campaign off with a win.
Yeah, that was an unbelievable finish to a stellar year to come right down to the final turn on the final lap to decide the championship. Phoenix, Arizona, where the Silver Crown action is starting to get intense. We are on lap number 12. Chuck Gurney is still leading, but lots happening in the pack, Ralph Shaheen.
Yeah, there you see Chuck and Kenny Irwin still fighting it out. Irwin set a track record here, but look at this fight coming up here. That is Beechler, who has now gotten around Dave Blaney. So that sends the 112 back a spot, and Beechler will slide up into third.
Dave Blaney, a regular on the World of Outlaws series, in fact, a former Outlaw World Champion. And he loves these asphalt cars. He loves to get an opportunity every once in a while to do this.
He sure does. Jack Hodchild, another regular on the World of Outlaw Tour, in this race as well. There's Gurney and Irwin. As I was saying before, Kenny grabbed the track record, knocking a 1/10 of a second off of Mike Bliss's track record from 95. And these two have been going at it all day, and it looks like Irwin's about set to really mount a challenge, see if he can't take the lead away from Gurney.
You've always been a big Chuck Gurney fan coming from that part of the country.
Absolutely. If you've lived out west, you've had a chance to see him. And look at Irwin. I had a feeling, Steve, he was going to start testing the water. But if you grew up out west, you've heard the name Chuck Gurney and had a chance to see him race quite a bit. He's one heck of a good driver.
You bet he is, and right now he's fending off some stiff competition. I bet ultimately if he can make that pass, it'll be to the outside.
Well, he's painted him at least a couple of times to the inside. Remember, these cars don't have mirrors of any kind. Chuck has no idea what Kenny is trying. He can only hear him where he goes.
The Silver Crown cars exactly as they were a year ago. No rules changes whatsoever, except in the roll cage. It has been strengthened. It looks just a little bit different.
Nothing wrong with safety. I've never had a problem with them adding rules to make the cars safer for the driver. Wow, look at this fight back here in 8th, Steve, and there is a number in there that we have not had a lot of chance to talk about. Number 92, Jimmy Kite. This kid started 26th. He transferred into the feature today from the consolation race, and now he's inside the top 10.
He's only been in a Silver Crown car once before, and I believe that was on dirt. He's never been to Phoenix, but he prepared by watching our TNN tape of last year's race and is really trying to emulate what Mike Bliss did to win.
TNN's Race of the Week, or How to Drive a Silver Crown Car with your professor, Steve Evans. Jimmy Kite making a good show. Boy, you obviously teach these guys how to do this thing right, Steve. Your pupil's doing well.
Oh, yeah, right. He is in that 8th spot, and he's still coming there. Here's Gurney and Irwin up front. Nothing has changed there.
These two battled quite a bit over the course of the 96 season. Irwin picked up the win at IRP back in July. Gurney was a 2-time winner, picked up both of his victories on dirt. Slower traffic to the inside. They'll both go to the outside. Of course, Kenny won on the smaller half-mile track, and Gurney got both of his wins on the big 1-mile ovals, a couple of historic places, DeQuoin and Springfield.
Well, unable to make the pass is Chuck Gurney. And Gurney's going to be a little bit careful here. He can't fend him off and at the risk of abusing his tires. Apparently he's not doing that, so.
Absolutely. Even though you see Kenny Irwin diving inside, looking to the outside snowboard, Chuck Gurney has held the same line lap after lap after lap. So he apparently isn't too worried about it just yet, Steve.
Well, you've really got to be careful with these cars going into turn number 1. That's the quickest way around the racetrack is to delay your braking, delay getting off the throttle into 1. But it can bite you, put you to the fence if you get too greedy there. But that is the critical turn, drivers will tell you. Getting into 1 is what makes for quick lap times.
And the corners here are so radically different. 3 and 4 are nothing like 1 and 2. So it all depends on how you have your car set up, too, where you might be good. And Kenny Irwin looks like he's getting a little loose, Steve. Oh, here he comes.
Coming down the inside, trying to get a say, and he makes it work. Kenny Irwin Jr. now out in front. You can see how twitchy that car is. Chuck Gurney sees it, and he's going to attack.
And you can see Irwin sliding as he went into 1 and 2. He did that more like a dirt track drive than on pavement. And as you were saying, saving your tires is important. That's not the way to do that.
Chuck Gurney right now may be in the position he wants to be in. He'll follow Irwin for a while.
Let's see how 1-2 this time. You can see him fighting the wheels, Steve.
Oh, yeah, it's one big old champ wheels with four spokers. I love them.
Oh, boy, look at this. Gurney to the inside. His car is much more stable through the turns. He got a much better drive out of 1 and 2 than Kenny did, and that made the difference by the time they got to 3.
And believe it or not, these two have not really broken free of the pack like you might think. There's plenty of cars that are just now starting to make their move.
Well, a big indication of just how courageous Kenny Irwin is the fact that even though Gurney's car is more stable and Kenny's a slide, he's still staying with it. Not afraid to run it down in there. Look at this fight for the back, and you know, in the middle of all that is our little buddy. Here he comes, old Jimmy Kite out of Stockbridge, Georgia. Not exactly a hotbed for Silver Crown drivers.
Exactly. And running in third is Jimmy Sills. Fourth is Dave Blaney. Fifth is Donnie Beechler. Lots and lots of talent behind Gurney and Irwin.
Now Gurney is starting to pull away a little bit from Kenny Irwin. Maybe Irwin's car has gotten a little too loose. Maybe he has cooked those tires up just too much now to stay with Gurney.
Well, definitely something has gone wrong because that car is not the same machine it was.
Well, Chuck has done a beautiful job of setting his car up as we watch Sills, Blaney, and Beechler coming up 3rd, 4th, and 5th because Chuck's car is not sliding at all. He stayed consistently in the same groove.
And Gurney has got to be thinking, oh, my Lord, I was just going to say, Gurney has got to be saying, please no yellows, Lord, and look what we get.
Well, Bill has come to a rest. Obviously, some overheating problems. That'll bring out the yellow. Bad news for Chuck Gurney. Could help Kenny Irwin. Jimmy Sills, Beechler, and Blaney are all going to get a shot at just how good can Jimmy...
The Silver Crown affair, this is the restart. 23 laps are down. Just 2 remaining to the midway point. Jim Keeker is in the pits. You know, Rob, a lot of drivers have won Silver Crown titles, but have never won the Copper Classic, and vice versa.
Jimmy Sills has 8 career victories in Silver Crown competition. He's got 3 championships, the only driver to have 3, but he's never won here. Bobby Gerald, talk to him.
Are you jinxed here?
Well, I hate to think that. I know there is a lot of luck involved in racing. Some you make your own, and some is just racing luck. Our racing luck is looking good. Going into the last race of last year, we were 138 points behind, pulled off the race and the championship, so it's a good time to be here, I think.
And he's in a real good position right now. 3rd, Jimmy Sills is behind Gurney and Irwin.
And the way Kenny Irwin's car has been handling lately, he might find himself in 2nd pretty quick if he can stick with him.
And even with the yellow, Gurney and Irwin have managed to sprint back out ahead of this pack.
And Kenny's still trying that bottom groove, and Gurney's still sticking right where he was.
And Kenny's car is loose, but he's just driving the wheels off it, literally driving the wheels off.
He's giving him a run, that is for sure. There he goes. Now he's trying him on the bottom of 1 and 2 as well. He had been just trying it in 3 and 4.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a loose race car if you got a loose driver.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff Gordon, he loves loose race cars.
Yeah. Of course, Jeff Gordon, a former champion in this division, is not afraid to go racing. He's got a couple of victories.
So right now it's a match race between Gurney and Irwin, and now Irwin takes the point. Whoa, and sideways at it.
And that is, look at him just sliding that car in there, Steve. But again, that's not going to help him save those tires.
No, it isn't. And we're well past the halfway point now. The last 3rd of the race, really.
Chuck is not changing his line, though. He's still, even back in 2nd place, he ran that same line and almost got him.
You know, I got to wonder, if it wasn't for the exhaust note, if you couldn't hear these 2 guys clapping, they are having that good a time.
Oh, I guarantee you, these are 2 driven competitors. Kenny Irwin, one of the best youngsters. And Steve, look at this. There's Jimmy Sills, but you notice that other car in there running with Beechler and with Blaney? Yep, number 92 up from 26th position. Here comes Jimmy Kite.
Yep, that's our student, folks. The Ralph and Steve Video Driving School. Jimmy Kite is in 4th and moving. You know, it reminds me of an 18-year-old Jeff Gordon.
Well, if he keeps driving like this, I guarantee you he's going to get a smiley face and a gold star on his turn paper.
A car out of Moline, Illinois, with a kid from Georgia.
Well, you know that some of the drivers have said these big Silver Crown cars handle kind of like a stock car. Jeff Swindell, who's spent a lot of time behind the wheel of Silver Crown cars, says it's similar to a stock car in that it's a bit of a lazy race car. It's not as quick to react the way a sprint car or a midget would be. Well, Stockbridge, Georgia is where they grow a lot of stock car drivers. Maybe Jimmy Kite was born to do this.
Kenny Irwin Jr., Chuck Gurney, they have no idea that this kid is coming. You see him right there, making the pass.
On the outside of Jimmy Sills, while Gurney goes to the bottom side of Irwin.
Irwin, Gurney, incoming.
Boy, isn't that the case. The only thing, though, is that Jimmy Kite's got a lot of ground to make up. We'll have to see how fast he can be in clear air.
And speaking of running the tires off a race car, he may have well done that to come from 26th to 3rd. Any more would be the cherry on the sundae. I think he may have done all he can do.
Absolutely. Boy, Sills is probably wondering which car that was.
Yeah, he certainly hadn't seen him before.
I hadn't seen that guy. Well, let's see. Irwin looks like he's lost about a car length or two to Gurney. Maybe that's the end of the fight, or maybe he's just going to have to pull up. And Jack Hewitt, two-time champion of the division, the all-time winningest driver in Silver Crown competition, has no longer got tread on that left front tire.
Nope, that left front tire is shredded. Folks, stay with us. Can that kid keep coming? Jimmy Kite? We'll be right back to find out.
The beautiful Phoenix International Raceway, Buddy Jove's desert jewel, and what a pristine facility it is. Chuck Gurney, the 1989 Silver Crown champion who sits second on the all-time win list, leads this one. Jimmy Kite, who's about to make a huge name for himself, is up from 26th to 3rd, and now he's working the outside of Kenny Irwin. Am I seeing this right?
Yeah, I don't know. What channel are we on here? Give me the clicker, will you? That red and white car right there, the 92 machine, is the kid we've been talking about. He just passed Kenny Irwin Jr. Irwin does not have the handling race car early on in the race, but still, he's in second.
Evans, if he keeps driving like this, last year's Race of the Week show is going to outsell Buns of Steel at the video counter.
Oh, man, this is unbelievable. And Chuck Gurney is wussing along out there. He knows Kenny Irwin Jr. is probably falling back, but he doesn't know what's coming.
Well, it looks like Jimmy Sills and Mopar now. Look at that. Both of those guys sliding them into 1 and 2. Sills on the outside, Irwin on the bottom. What a great fight for 3rd, and it looks like the Mopar's going to get it.
I tell you, Jimmy Sills going to give that car a lot of right rudder to keep it straight. That was some great dirt track driving on Buddy Jove's asphalt.
And Steve, bigger problems now for Kenny Irwin. You see, he's going to lose the spot now to Donnie Beasler on the inside. Remember, this is the season opener for the 97 Silver Crown Championship, and Kenny wants to contest for this title. You can't afford to lose too many positions in points here today.
Oh, but that car has become evil. If he can just hang on to what he's got right now, he'll be a forcing up man.
He's going to do everything he can. Look, he's using up a lot of racetracks. He tries to hang on to one position after another.
And boy, I'll tell you, they pick on him now. He's wounded.
That's Davey Hamilton in the 111, and the 6 is Rocky Hodges in my favorite car in the field, the Ralph's muffler back entry.
Here's the 29 car. That's Bentley Warren. He's moving up to the 11th spot. A guy with a lot of speedway experience in Indianapolis. Great driver. Former Copper World winner as well. I'll tell you, all these cars are starting to get a little bit loose. We're going to find out who the race car drivers are now, buddy.
Well, and the exciting thing is we got a bunch of them in the field, and look at this. Kenny Irwin, after leading 5 laps and nearing the completion of this race, has finally had to call it a day. He just wore that thing out. And I don't think it was the car wearing him out. He wore the car out today.
And you can tell the condition of the tires because guys can't drive as deep into 1 as they were early on.
Rocky Hodges and Davey Hamilton having at it here. You can see Rocky getting a little loose.
What happened to Blaney?
I don't know. The Buckeye Bullet has slipped back. The former champion of this division, Blaney, winning back in '84, is, whoa, look at Rocky slide.
He's the Buckeye BB now?
It's the Buckeye BB, yeah. Oh, and we've got a caution, Steve. You can see these guys starting to slow down, and that was not what this guy wanted to see.
That is horrible news for Chuck Gurney because that will put this kid tight right on his tail with 3 laps to go. Hang in there with us. This could be wild. let's set the stage. We're going green. There's 3 laps to go. Up front is Chuck Gurney, who has never won in the Silver Crown division here, a 3-time midget champion in Phoenix. And right behind him in that 92 car is a 20-year-old kid nobody ever heard of until today.
And was Gurney ever on the gas coming out of 3 and 4, leaving the black rubber on the racetrack? And he has opened up a big gap over Kite, Sills, and the rest. Might be enough. Look at Hodges still fighting an evil handling race car.
Oh, they all are evil handling right now. You got to wonder about Kenny Irwin Jr. He wouldn't park that race car just because the tires were worn out. I think there's more to that story. In fact, Bobby Gerald is down there right now with Kenny to find out.
Kenny, you were right there with them, but the tires just didn't last. How disappointed are you?
Right. I really thought we could win it today. I don't know what happened. I don't know.
Was he bummed out? Here we go, the last lap. Chuck Gurney trying to hang on for his first Silver Crown win here in Phoenix. The Kite crew, that's the group of the 20-year-old, the car out of Illinois, the driver out of Georgia.
Oh, and Gurney has won here 3 times in a midget, but never in the bigger car. Look at this, Steve. Here comes Kite.
An absolute burst of acceleration, or Gurney's car folded. The kid is dead sideways trying to make the pass. Unbelievable.
Steve, you're not supposed to be able to do that. He is dirt tracking it on the pavement. Gurney with the lead, but here it comes. Oh,
I don't know.
It's a dead photo finish.
Who won?
Oh, that's Gurney's crew right there.
Kite has won. The kid did it. Was smoke off the tires. Chuck Gurney, who led all but 5 laps, loses it in the last foot. You got to see it again to believe it. The kid is dead sideways, down under the line. Smoke pouring off that driving right wheel, and just in the nick of time, he pulls out, hammered down, and does it. Roush, he got so excited, he ran out of the booth, microphone in hand. He's chasing the kid all over the racetrack. The crowd is going absolutely nuts. This is a magic moment.
Listen to this crowd cheering for you here. This is unbelievable. What's going through your mind after such a huge win?
After not being here last year, coming here my first year and winning, I'm so tired. I'm about sick. This is great. Yeah. Oh, God.
Now tell me what was going on as you went diving into turn number 3. It looked like you carried a ton of speed.
I figured with that many laps left, if I came that far up to the front, I'd had enough tires left to run second. I had enough to try for the lead. That's all I did going in that last lap.
Well, it paid off, and listen to this big crowd cheering for you. Enjoy it today.
I'm going to borrow Al Michaels' great line. Do you believe in miracles? Bobby Gerald?
No, this has got to be just brutally disappointing.
Yeah, it is. It really is. We had them covered all day long, and we didn't put enough fuel in for the race, and we ran out.
Did it hiccup after the white flag?
The last 3 laps from the green, it never run the whole straightaway. I'd run down the straightaway, get in the turn, and then it'd take 200 yards to clear out and run, and then it just, in the turns, and this was a big turn, it just stumbled all the way down the end, and I didn't really have enough. I was just coasting here at the end.
When you came across the line, did you feel you had won the race?
Well, I don't know where the starting line is, and I mean, he got me down there, but I don't know, I thought I won.
Obviously disappointed. This is going to be a tough one for Chuck Gurney and his team to swallow.
Well, Roush Shaheen is back in the booth, worn out. 50 cents worth of methanol fuel, and Chuck Gurney might be on top of that leaderboard instead of the amazing young kid.
Ken Schrader, Jeff Gordon, Jim Keeker, Mike Bliss, Kenny Irwin, and Jimmy Kite, all winners of the Silver Crown race of the Copper World.
A promotional consideration and a fee paid by this offer from Diamond P Sports.